Please welcome to the stage, Joshua Wenner.
How's everybody doing today? One more time, how's everybody doing today? Who here is having fun? If you're having fun, say, I'm having fun. I just got to say, I'm so honored and grateful to be here. What I witnessed a little while ago, and I know everybody in this room witnessed, with the little Willettes and the little Owlettes standing up here. How amazing was that? I'm going to tell you right now, that's not being done anywhere else. No other companies, no other industries that I've ever experienced is this being done where this is bringing families together at this level. So I'm just honored. Give yourselves a round of applause for being here. So, you know, how this all kind of came together is initially I met Chrissy and I met the leadership team. We were at a business course. And I was at the course, and you know how sometimes you just get along sometimes with some people? There's just a likeness. And we both started talking and noticed we had a lot of the same values, a lot of the same likes. And I got to really see how much she cared about this company. It was really beautiful to see of where the future of this is going and the energy and the passion and the excitement. I really resonated that on a deep level with my value system. And because of that friendship, that's what turned into me coming out here. And the reason that's important is how many times do we meet somebody and we don't really know where that connection's going to go? We don't know where that friendship's going to go. This is a social selling business, correct? So what do you think is the primary thing we got to be focused on? Social, right? So social is about making connections, making authentic connections and friendships, and we never know where it's going to turn, but this has turned into something really beautiful. This has already impacted my life just from seeing what's happening here. It's making a difference. So today's focus is going to be about the psychology of achievement, one thing, and it's also going to be about creating deeper friendships, creating deeper connections. Who here, just curious, first of all, give yourselves a round of applause for showing up and coming to convention, first of all. I was curious, how many people, just by a show of hands, how many people was it a struggle to get here? Was a struggle, yeah. I want you to give yourselves an extra round of applause for finding a way to make it happen. The reason it's important is this. When you're at convention, you're around a group of people, a like-minded people, who are all focused on stepping into their full potential. Would you agree? Have you met a lot of friends here? Is everybody trying to become better, working on themselves, pushing to get out of their comfort zone to become better? At home, sometimes, do we not have that? So I just want to acknowledge you for being here. You took action to get here. You're going to get a lot of juice, a lot of benefits from it. You probably already have, but thank you for being here and showing up. Now, before we get started, I'm sure you've heard the phrase, learning is earning, right? Learning is? Earning. Exactly. So what happens in school when we just kind of sit down passively like this? Maybe we're on our cell phones. This is called passive learning. Passive learning, we only retain about 10% of the information. However, if you do a couple key things today, like raise your hands, take notes. So if you don't have a notepad and paper, it may be helpful to pull one out. It's also a good chance, if you don't have one, maybe to ask a neighbor. Okay, if you can, try to be resourceful. But also shout back answers, engage your nervous system. The reason being is when you're actively learning, research shows that your retention level goes all the way up to 90%. How high? 90%. So today the key word is going to be, or I should say the key phrase is going to be playing full out. What's the key phrase? Let's try this again. What's the key phrase? Okay, great. So are you committed? Is everybody in here committed to playing full out for the next 35 minutes we have together? If you are, say yes. Yes. Are you committed to making more friends, more connections, and building a better community? If you are, say yes. Yes. Okay, if you're committed, sit up in your chair, look at a neighbor, and say, let's do this. So I have a question for you. with your current level of skill, knowledge, and talent, plus all the time and energy you put into your business, how many people think you should be making maybe more money, feeling a little bit frustrated with where you're at, or maybe producing better results? Yeah, there's nothing more frustrating than seeing somebody else who has less skill than you, but they're making 2 times, 5 times, sometimes 10 times more money, and maybe they're living a more balanced life. So what determines our success? Write this down. Our patterns. Our what? Our patterns. Good. A pattern is kind of like a habit. Who here's got some good habits by show of hands? By your hands raised, I'm hoping you're wearing deodorant, and I hope your neighbor hopes so too. Who's got some bad habits? Show of hands. Okay, I got 2 hands up. So I just want to do an example right now to show you a little bit about our patterns and how fast they happen. So if you can, I need everybody to stand up. Now I want you to take your fingers like this and make an OK sign. See how I did it? Middle finger. Okay, now I want you to take this middle finger, or this OK sign, and look up at it. Look through that hole. Everybody got the OK sign? You got it up in the air? Okay, when you look through it, you got it? You take that and you're going to put it right here on your chin. I said chin. I know everybody heard me say chin, didn't they? Okay, so how does this work? Monkey see, monkey do, right? So sometimes in life, do we end up following family, friends, mentors, coaches, people in our environments, and we just do what they do? Does that happen on occasion? Has a parent, anybody here parents, show of hands? Anybody ever said or heard the phrase, do as I say? What do you end up doing? You do what they do, right? So patterns, our habits and patterns are what make our life go around. So what happens if, let's say we're not getting results. We're not getting results in our business, we're not getting results in our life, and instead we don't do anything to change. Instead we say, you know, that's just the way life is. Or, man, that's just the cards I've been dealt. That would mean that we're just afraid. The truth would mean that we're too afraid, too scared to get outside of our comfort zone. Because isn't it true? Isn't it true when we get outside our comfort zone? Isn't that when all change happens? Isn't that when all breakthrough happens? Was it uncomfortable to get here a little bit? But now that you're here, are you feeling the breakthrough? Are you feeling the excitement? Yes. So the key is beginning to dance with your fears, becoming comfortable with things that intimidate you a little bit and starting to have fun with it. Let me ask you a question. How many people are a little bit intimidated by going up and meeting new friends? It's okay. Show of hands. How many people think that if you built up a little bit of courage and started to meet new friends authentically, just to meet new friends and build a community, and you got outside your comfort zone, it would help you in your business? Show of hands. And what if you built a larger network of like amazing, empowered people who wanted to support you to achieve your dreams? Would that be powerful? Would that be powerful? Yes. Okay, great. So we're going to do that, and we're going to have some fun with it. I'm going to show some actual strategies to do it, but I also want to say, I know there's some leaders here in the room for the leadership lunch. Some of the things that we're going to be covering are very similar because a lot of you said, hey, we want to give it to our teams as well. But in addition, I'm going to ask if some of the exercises we do, are you willing to do it again so you can get the repetition? And are you willing to think of some new reasons? If you are, say yes. Yes. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and get to some work. So strategies, activities, and mindset. So there's 3 main pillars to create an extraordinary results in our life, in our business. How many pillars? 3. One more time. How many pillars? 3. Great job. Thanks for participating. First pillar is going to be called strategies. What's the first pillar? Strategies. So your business plan or your plan of action. Show of hands. How many people have a crystal clear plan of where they want to go? I don't see a lot of hands up there. I'm sure you've heard this before. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. Exactly. So you have to have a plan. The plan can start as simple as, you know what, I want to meet 2 friends a day. It could be that simple. It could be something really simple, or it could mean a certain dollar amount. It could be a certain goal you want to achieve financially, a trip you want to take, whatever that goal is. Second major pillar is called activities. What's the second pillar? Activities. Great job. Activities is, what are the measurable activities you're taking to achieve your plan? So quick question. How many people in here, what are the 4 primary areas you think you got to focus on? Who thinks sales would be one of them? Show of hands. Personal sales. How about sponsorship? Show of hands. How about vital behaviors? Show of hands. Okay, and what about building leaders? Okay, so my question is, how focused are we on doing these activities on a regular basis? Right, this has got to be the activities that are going to get us all the way to our goals. Now, the third pillar is the most important pillar. It's called our mindset. What's the third pillar? Mindset. 80% of your success in this business and in your life comes down to your mindset. It's the ability to have that unstoppable mindset. You get crystal clear, like, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What are you passionate about? Who do you want to become? And you see that vision so clearly. It's like, anybody heard of Walt Disney? A lot of people say, I can't, I got to see it before I can believe it. Guess what Disney said? I believe it before I can see it. So your mindset, you got to be able to believe it. Who do you want to become? Where are you going to go? How are you going to make a difference? How are you going to change the world? And you got to embody that and believe it's so full of you, so part of you that becomes your identity. It's just who you are. The mechanics are important, but that's only 20% of our success. How many times do we know what to do but don't do what we know? What's worse, not knowing what to do or knowing what to do and not doing it? Knowing what's not to do and not doing it. So we got to unlock and unleash, right? The unstoppable mindset. Listen to me here. The unstoppable mindset is the unfair competitive advantage in this economy. So, strategies, activity, and mindset. Let's look at this together as a team, because if we play as a team, we win as a team. Do you agree? Yes. Everybody want to play together as a team? Yes? Awesome. Great. So, taking a look at this circle right here, I'm just going to do this quick exercise. We're going to look at 4 key areas. So of these 4 key areas, if you have a pen and paper, you can do this yourself. If not, and you don't have it, you can just kind of think through it, because we're going to use this in a second. But when it comes to vital behaviors, you're going to go ahead and rate yourself so we figure out where we're at today, so then we know where we're going to go. So starting out with vital behaviors, 0, it means that you're not doing anything, right? 10 means you're doing it on a regular basis. You're doing the vital behaviors every single day, and you're intentional about it, you're excited about it. You're almost to the point of like, who am I going to meet today? What friend am I going to meet? Where am I going to meet him? You're excited, you're passionate about it. Okay, go ahead and rate yourself. Easiest way to do it is just, this is 0, this is 10. Wherever you're at, just draw a line across. Next, moving into sales. Sales, I'm going to call this personal sales, because as leaders, what do people do? Monkey see, monkey. So if you stop selling, do you think your team's going to keep selling? No. So we got to always continue to grow. And when I say selling, it's really building connections and sharing cool products. Would you agree? Would you guys agree? Okay, cool. Just checking. So when we go to sales, go ahead and figure out where you're at. 0 means you're not selling, you're not getting out there. 10 means you're doing it consistently. You're constantly enrolling people in and selling new product. Next, go down here to sponsorship. Are you personally sponsoring new people on a regular basis? Because again, as leaders, do we have to be doing it if we want other people to see us do it? So we got to constantly be growing this area. So just rate yourself. 0 means you're not. 10 means you're doing it on a regular basis. And then lastly, building leaders. If you're doing all these things, it's a lot easier to help other leaders, isn't it? If you're congruent, how important do you think congruency is? Even in meeting people, if people are congruent with who they are, who they feel they are, who they say they are, and how they are, do you think it's easier to meet people? More authentic connection? So when we're doing this, it's a lot easier to be better leaders. If we're doing these things, then people respect us when we want to ask them to do it, or we can support them to do it if those are those goals. So go ahead and rate yourself. 10 means you're excellent at training leaders, or go ahead and rate closer to 0 if you're not doing it. It's okay too if you're just getting started. So now go ahead and take a look at your whole wheel. And if you hadn't had a paper and pen, just as an example, take a look at this. 10 means you're playing at your full potential. Like 10 means you could write a manual for the company, you're up here on stage, you could write a manual for the company. 0 means you're not happy with your results, maybe you're not getting success, you're just kind of frustrated with it. You see the range? So as a whole team together, I just want to see where everybody's at as a team. And it's okay, this is a safe place to grow. It's a safe environment where you can share where you're at, honestly, so we know where we're going to go. So just by show of hands, who here feels like they're maybe at we just look at these areas, like a 1 or 2 by show of hands? It's okay, thanks. 3 or 4? Okay, 5 or 6? Okay, 7 or 8? And 9 or 10? Okay, if you didn't participate, it doesn't count. So I'm gonna do this one more time. Are you guys willing to play full out? Yes. One more time, you wanna play full out? Yes. Okay, thank you. I'm doing this because I'm here to serve you. So again, one more time. If you're a 1 or 2, raise your hand. Thank you. 3 or 4? Okay, 5 or 6? 7 or 8? And 9 or 10? Okay, cool. So I'd say as a team, we're about the 5 range. Is that fair? Looking around? Awesome. So I have some amazing news for you. If as a team, we're playing at a 5, what this tells us is we're leaving 50% of our potential and 50% of our income on the table every single day. Who here wants to take that 50%, put it back into your life to do whatever you want with the show of hands? Who here wants a 50% raise in the next business quarter by a show of hands, huh? That sounds fun. Great. We're going to work on that in just a second. But before I do, I got a very important question for you. And with this one, I need you to be 100% honest, not with me, but with yourself. What's stopping you? What's stopping you from playing full out at a level 9 or 10 in this business? Go ahead and take the next, go ahead and take as much time as you need in the next 2 minutes. Go ahead and write that down. Just write down first 2 or 3 things that come to mind. It's okay. Just whatever comes to mind, whatever you say, it's okay. Just go ahead and write it down. First thing that comes to mind. Recently, I heard somebody say fear. Fear of rejection. Anybody relate to that? Yeah, totally. That's a big one, right? And there can also be fear of success. Sometimes we haven't broken out of our environment, or we feel uncomfortable if we made more money than our family did. So there could be some fear of success there. What about fear of failure? Does that also resonate? So fear plays a big role. So fear of success, rejection, or failure. Can I write that one down? Great, thank you. What are some other reasons? Laziness, thank you. Time? Money? Focus? I hope you can read my chicken scratch up here. What else? That's a lot of answers at the same time. What was it? Laundry? Interesting. I haven't heard that one before. Laundry. Children, jobs, family. One more question. What if we focus just for a minute on making new friends? What's an area that stops us there? Laziness. Anybody get uncomfortable sometimes or nervous to talk to new people? Can I write that one down? Can that be a little uncomfortable to just go approach somebody we don't know? So uncomfortability maybe? Anybody here procrastinate by a show of hands? The rest of you will all raise your hands later. So thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate your honesty here. And I agree with these. But a question for you. What are all these reasons? Excuses? I want you to write this down. These are your BS. Your belief systems. I don't know what you were thinking. Your belief systems. So all human behavior is belief-driven. Listen to me here. This one's interesting. All human behavior is belief-driven. Think about how this works. First, we have a feeling. We have a feeling about something. That feeling then drives our thoughts. Our thoughts would actually determine if the decisions we make. Our decisions determine if we take action or we don't take action. And ultimately, it's our actions that generate our results. Make sense? One more time? Okay. Turn the mic up. Okay, I'll come over here for a little bit too. Yeah. Okay, cool. No, thank you. I appreciate it. So a belief is this. It starts with a feeling. Once we have a feeling, then we get a thought about how we feel. After we have a thought, it moves into forcing us to make a decision. And our decisions determine if we take action or we don't take action. And it's ultimately our actions that determine our results. So think about it like this. The definition of a belief is just a feeling we have about something with absolute certainty. It's a feeling we have about something with absolute certainty. So there's two kinds of beliefs. How many kinds? Two. One more time. How many kinds? Two. Thank you for playing. First one's called an empowering belief. What's it called? Empowering beliefs allow us to take massive action towards our goals. Curious, who here has pets? Show hands. Yeah? A lot of pet owners? Okay, and how many people have children? Show hands. Okay, so if we take these combined, looking at pets, and we look at your children, how many people were like, you know what, I totally forgot to feed the pets this month? Does that happen? Or I totally forgot to feed my kids this month. Why doesn't that happen? They're important to us. And because they're important to us, we have massive, empowering beliefs. I'm just curious, how many people in the room before you had an animal realized how much you'd have to take care of it? In the same sense, how many before you had children realized how much energy it would take? Did you just find a way to do it? Or did you say, man, there's so many reasons why I'm just tired, I just don't know why if I can make this happen, or you just do it? So when we have massive empowering beliefs, we find a way to take action. It's a must, not a should. Make sense? Second kind of belief is called a limiting belief. What's it called? A limiting belief. A limiting belief is what stops us from taking massive action. So to put this all into play, we're going to take a look at these boxes. These boxes, we're going to do I'm just curious first, how many people would like to learn a scientific way, a way to make sure that every single time, if you wanted to make a certain amount of money, if you wanted to do something with your body, if you wanted to have an amazing relationship, whatever you wanted to create, how many people in this room would like to learn a scientific way to make this happen? If you are, say yes and raise your hand. One more time, say yes and raise your hand. Yes. I know it's confusing. I was doing both at the same time, so thank you. Great, we're going to do it. Okay, so if you look at these boxes right here, if you want, you can write these down. First, let's look at it like this. Let's say that a person has these kind of beliefs. Let's say they have some fear. They have some fear of rejection. They have some fear of success. They have some fear of failure. Maybe they're lazy, or they just don't have the time in a day. Or maybe they don't have the focus. Maybe laundry takes up a lot of time. Maybe they have other jobs, children, or they procrastinate, or they're just a little uncomfortable. If this is their beliefs, are they going to tap into more or less potential every single day? Less potential. If they tap into less potential, are they going to take more or less action? If they take less action, are they going to get better or worse results? And then when they get worse results, what do they say? I told you so. Told you so this was a horrible economy. Told you so I've already talked to everybody I know in this area. They don't like anything I have to offer. You know, I told you so. It's just the way things are. And then what do? We create patterns. We start to doubt our beliefs, believe our doubts, and guess what we start to create? A pattern. Because of these limiting beliefs, we tap into less potential, take less action, continue to get worse results, and this whole negativity continues. Make sense? It's just human nature. It's just how we're wired. And again, if we're watching somebody else, remember the monkey see monkey, and they're caught in one of these, and we're not thinking for ourselves and saying, what do I want and what am I going to become? Can it get easy to start to follow somebody else in one of those? And then we get trapped in their lifestyle. So we got to make sure we're following in our heart. And that's why I'm so passionate about you being here. Because if you're here, you want to grow. If you're here, you want to make a difference. If you're here, you want to become more. And there's a family, there's a support group for you of people who are going there too. So let's just say, just focusing on making connections. Because if this is social selling, and the number one skill set I have to learn is to be social, let's just say I focused on that one thing. Is that fair to say? Just building a nice, let me just say this. Let's say you were to just build your network up and there's an extra 100, 200, 300, 400 people that were amazing friends. That when you had a tough time and you were down, they picked you up. And maybe when you were doing great, you could share with them and pick them up. And if you said, you know what, there's more in you. I want to push you to become more. Would that be fulfilling? I don't know, what do you think? Would that be fulfilling? Is that what you have here? And that's what we're creating even more and more of. So let's just say that was your goal. Let's say the result is, I'm going to reach out to 2 new people a day to see who's going to be part of my family of friends and connections. Authentic, real, deep connections. What if that was your goal? So under result, write down whatever other result that you want. It could be money, it could be trips, family, but to make this simple, because everybody in the room could use more enrollment of other people, more friends, correct? Okay, so we're going to focus on this example. So let's say my goal is to make 2 new friends. In order to do this, what kind of belief do you think I'd have to have? Empowering beliefs, good. And if I had empowering beliefs, what would be a couple empowering beliefs? Would it be, you know what? I know there's other people out there that are hungry like I am. Would that be empowering? Or maybe like, I never know who's around the corner, whose life I'm going to change. Or what about, you know what? Who else has maybe a daughter or a mother or somebody that wants another level of empowerment that I can bring into my family? Who can I support, or who can I model, or who's part of that? Would those all be empowering beliefs? Okay, and if we had empowering beliefs, would we tap into more or less potential? If we tap into more potential, we're going to take more or less action. If we take more or less action, we're going to get better or worse results. We get better results, we're going to reinforce a positive pattern, and then now we've got this positive patterning going forward. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time going through some of these actions right now because I think it's important. It sounds kind of easy to make friends, but I know it's challenging. Unless it's just naturally who you are, and there are a couple people like that. It takes a little bit getting outside the comfort zone. So is it okay if we talk about some of those strategies? Yes. Who here would like to learn that? Okay, great. So first off, let's think about the psychology of this for a minute. What do most people do as a tendency? We kind of tend to go to who we're comfortable with. Would you agree? We kind of go with our group of who we're comfortable with, whatever that looks like, and then we see other people, and a lot of times it's actually our insecurities is why we don't approach them. Would you agree most of the time? But how good does it feel if somebody walks up sometimes and you feel it's authentic? Can you tell the difference when it's authentic and when it's not? Anybody ever just given you a compliment, like maybe it's a compliment about what you wore, or what your hair looked like, or something about you, or just because and it felt really good? Anybody feel that before? And it was from the heart? Did you naturally feel like a tendency to connect with them a little bit more? Yeah, and they could have just been standing there. I was getting ready to come down there, and I believe her name was Carol, was like, I like your suit. I was like, thank you. But it was just an authentic, real compliment, and I felt a deeper connection with her. Right, so the first step is thinking about it for a second. If we're just giving somebody a compliment, I see a lot of people in social selling, they go, oh, I got to enroll 2 people into my party, and they just lead with that. How uncomfortable if you met somebody in an elevator, and they're like, come to this party. Do you want to come to this party? I'm going to sell some products. How many people would jump at that right now? Let's say you're on the way here, and you're walking here in the elevator, you're stoked about it, and somebody else is like, would you like to buy some watches? Right? But you haven't built a relationship. Do you see how that could be a little bit different? But what if you're just walking around through life, because I know Chrissy talked about this earlier, and I'm really grateful that she did. People that nowadays have gotten so caught in their little niches that they don't get outside and get uncomfortable anymore. Did everybody resonate with that when she said that? I mean, what we crave as individuals is human connection. Who here agrees with that? Like at a deep level. So when you're getting out, I call it the marketplace. If you're going out in the marketplace, what do you do on a day-to-day basis where you have a tendency where you can meet other people? It could be the grocery store. It could be, where else? Gas station. Where else? Where could you meet other people? Anybody have animals and you walk your dogs or cats? What else? Grocery store, the mall, Starbucks, gym, school, nail salon, church, here. I like that one. Who here's met new friends here? Hey, while we're on the subject, since we're all learning this at the same time, how safe it is in an environment to start to reach out to new people to make friends here? Is it safe? Okay. One more time. I like that clap. One more time. Clap for everybody here because this is a safe environment. So since everybody's working on this, does everybody agree to get outside their comfort zone, starting here because this is safe? And when you see somebody new, start to practice walking up and introducing yourself to somebody. And it could be something as simple as, hey, how you doing? Man, this is hot weather in Phoenix. I'm not used to this. It could be that simple. It could be waiting for a taxi cab, and you're outside and you notice somebody's shoes or something. And it's just an authentic, so again, think of it as coming from the heart, as authentic connection, just being you, and making a compliment. Now, here's the distinction. This is important. Is there ever a point when you've done that and it's not reciprocated? Does that sometimes feel a little uncomfortable? Why does it feel uncomfortable? We don't know what to do, and it's our belief system about what that means. True? So let me give you another context. Let's say I go out to somebody, I'm walking and I'm like, you know, did you like this hotel? It was really fun. And they're just like, yeah, it was okay. In my mind, they're not part of my family. Do I want to bring that person to my family? No biggie. Okay, cool. I go on with my day. But let's say I meet somebody else. I'm like, man, this hotel's kind of nice. They're like, I know, it was amazing. I'm like, yeah, we start talking for a couple minutes. Am I finding that we have some authentic connection there? Am I finding that we have some resonance and it feels real and authentic? So is that a good potential person that I'd like to have as a friend in my life? Okay, cool. Now let's say that's step one. In that step one conversation, do I want to talk about the business at all? Do I want to talk about the product at all? This is critical. That's what we do when we meet friends. We're just meeting friends because it's authentic, real, deep connection. Step two, hey, let's connect. Then we can get to social media. I hear a lot of people, I don't know technology. You don't need technology to talk to somebody and connect. So once you've connected, then you can reach out through cell phones, Facebook, whatever it is, and connect. My suggestion would be to set up a second meeting to build the friendship without talking about the product or the business. Just build the friendship. Once you've built a solid friendship and connection, then it's your friend. How many people showed either the jewelry or the products with your friends because you thought it was really cool? How many people are here because of a friend showed you their product? So once you have friends, you just show them because it's something you do. So I just want to make it show it can be a lot simpler than it has to be, but the key has to be getting outside your comfort zone, right? Because it's uncomfortable, and it's not going to get any easier, I'll tell you. Maybe when you've done it like 10,000 times, it'll get easier. But in the beginning, it's going to be uncomfortable every single time. But if you have a strong enough vision, this is why the mindset's important. And I don't need to say anything. Did everybody see what was happening here on stage? This is powerful. If that didn't show you, like this, you're changing life. 50% of our patterns are learned by the age of 5. 95% of our patterns are learned by the age of 18. So you breaking through your limitations, how many do you think children are breaking through because we're doing the work? If you're a parent. And if you're the kids, how many people, you're changing it. You guys are like off to the races. I wish you had this kind of content. So does this make sense? Are you going to implement that? Okay, so one action item is before you leave convention, I want to make it a point to talk to at least 5 new friends a day. If you want to push it, you can see if you can push to 20 or 30. That's pushing it. But I'm just saying start with 5 here because it's safe. If you start to have fun with it, it's okay. If you have too many good friends, that's not a bad problem. So I want to do an exercise with you before we leave. I got a couple more minutes left. That's kind of fun. So have you ever had one of those days when your energy just kind of feels low and you don't feel like doing it? This is what happens with our emotional state. So there's a couple things you can do to tweak your emotional state, to put yourself in a powerful state, resourceful, so you can go out and do what you need to do. Anybody like to learn this? Anybody like to learn this? Woo! Okay, cool. So there's 3 things you need to focus on. It's language. What is it? Focus. And physiology. What are they? Language? Focus? Physiology. What does that mean? Language is what we tell ourselves. Focus is what we're thinking about. And physiology is literally our body. It's our nervous system. So the fastest way to change it is to change your nervous system, to get excited, to jump around. That's why I love the way that Chrissy and Bella and all the founders have set up this environment, because you're having fun, you're excited. You notice that you have more energy? Because you're using your body, you're using your physiology, and you're having fun. So we're gonna do an exercise now that you can apply at home if you want, in the car, or before you go out if you're feeling kind of funky and you need to change your state. And we're gonna do it together as a team. Does that sound fair? Okay, great, but I need a couple volunteers first. Okay, right there. Right here. Come on up. Okay, right there. Right here. And one more, right here. Okay, great. What's your name?
Ella.
Hi, Ella. What's your name?
Ashley.
Ashley. Ella. Cool. What's your name?
Katie.
Hi, Katie. And what's your name?
Lisa.
Lisa. Let's give them a round of applause for going first and raising your hands. You always get rewarded for going first. So everybody up here, you just get to watch everybody else, and they're going to do the exercise. Everybody else, I need you to stand up. Okay, so first, I want you to get crystal clear. Everybody, I want you to close your eyes for a second. And you guys are just watching. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to imagine for a second what your dreams are. Maybe it's a certain check you've been striving for. See that check, make it bigger, make it brighter. Maybe it's a trip you've been dreaming of going on. Maybe it's paying off your debt. Maybe it's just some of the basics, like, hey, you just like to be out of a tough survival mode where you feel like you can take a breath again. Maybe it's giving to a charity organization. Maybe it's doing something fun, like going on a trip. Picture that vision? Okay, great. Now go ahead and open your eyes. Put your hand out like this. Or if you're kind of close to somebody, maybe go sideways a little bit. And I'm going to put your right hand up like this. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, and when I do, I want you to go like this and go, yes. Everybody got it? Okay. Is this going to be the best year of your life? Okay, now judges. Judges. On a scale of 0, meaning comatose, dead, to 10, meaning like shaking the building, like people are out of their minds. They're so excited, like you can feel the whole building shaking, like walls moving. That would be a 10. Where would you rate the energy level of this group on now? Scale of 1 to 10. 3? Thank you.
It's, definitely like
Down.
2 or 3.
2 or 3. Good coaches here. Because the good coach tell you what you want to hear or what you need to hear? What you need to hear. Thank you, coaches. Okay, 4?
3.
Okay, so average is somewhere around 3 to 4-ish. Kind of close to this number here. Huh, interesting. Does everybody agree that that wasn't a 10? Yes. And could you have played it a 10 if you wanted to play it a 10? Yes. You know, maybe you thought, this is a silly little game. What's everybody next to me going to think if I just go nuts and play at my full potential? Or maybe you're thinking, you know, I'm going to watch them first, and after I see what happens, then I'm going to jump in and play. Or maybe you're thinking, I couldn't see the check. I just couldn't see the check. So whatever you were thinking, let me ask you a quick question. If you could have played it a 9 or a 10, but with this silly little game, we played as a 3 or a 4, is it fair to say that maybe some other areas of our life, like our relationship, our health, our finances, and our business, that we're playing less than we could? And isn't it just these same old limiting beliefs that get in the way? Now, I believe you have a level 10, do you? Yes! And judges, we believe in second chances, don't we? Yes. Okay, so let's play this game again. This time we're gonna go nuts, right? We're gonna have fun, we're gonna get excited, we're gonna get passionate, we're gonna play at our full potential, all right? We're gonna play 2. We're gonna play 2. We're all gonna do this together. But here's the deal. This time, after we do our visualization, and by the way, visualization is what F-16 fighter pilots use So it's a very helpful skill. If you do this on a regular basis, it's helpful for you. After we do this, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. How many? 3. And this is what's going to happen. I'm going to ask you the first one, you're going to go, yes. I'm going to ask you the second one, you're going to go, yes. I'm going to ask you the third one, you're going to go, yes, 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 yes. Whoa, yes. I see everybody now going like, whoa, no. Now, only the most confident, powerful, empowered team I could ever imagine could pull this off. Could you? Can you? All right, let's do this. You guys ready? Okay, now we're going to do this. We're going to just shake the building, but first, let's get a strong stance down. Strong, powerful stance. Now I want you to close your eyes. Close your eyes and visualize from your heart. Do this exercise for a minute. I want you to picture this. You've made it happen. You've become the man or woman that you've dreamed of. You've been dreaming of it. You've been putting in the work. You've been taking the actions time and time again, getting up, breaking through, getting up, breaking through, and you've done it. Feel how good that feels. You can just picture that check coming in, like make it bigger, make it brighter. Like how good does it feel to know that you made this happen? Picture maybe your spouse staying at home now because you've been able to relieve that stress. Maybe you're writing a check to pay off all the debts. Maybe now you're in a place where you're like, I can actually give to another organization or another individual. Maybe you're taking a trip, like the trip of a lifetime. Maybe you're gifting something to your charity or something really meaningful with your heart, and you get to give it and watch the transformation that takes place. Maybe your son or your daughter gets to look up to you and say, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful. And you get to look down at them and see that they're now in a different place because of you. Everybody got that vision? Okay, cool. You ready to do this? All right, cool. So take that vision. We're going to put it right in our hands. You got that? All right. Is this going to be the best year of your life? Yes. Are we going to go make some friends? Yes. Are you changing the world? Yes, 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 yes. Whoa, yes. Great job. High fives all the way around. Great job. Great job. Great job. Great job. Go ahead and have a seat. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. I'm honored to be here. Have an awesome rest of your weekend. Thank you so much.